Hello, this is Diana from Artfully Yours, and welcome to the hashtag Love Spring Art event being sponsored by a Facebook group called Creative Arts Collaboration. And please check out the top right corner for the iCard. We'll give you the direct link to the official playlist with all the other wonderful artists, many artists participating in this 4-day event, and also I'll have the link below. I'm using a background that I already had prepared just from when I clean stencils. I clean stencils off on a page so the image comes through. This inspiration comes from this card that my father-in-law gave me, and he passed away recently, so I've been sad. And the card, I was just looking through some things on my bedside table, and I was looking, that's the card he had given me at Christmas, and I was like, wow, look at the colors on the card. And I was really inspired by the card, and so I'm keep referring to it now. This is like a floral. I mean, this is a spring abstract, and I'm not going to get it exactly the way it's seen on the card, but it's just to give me a jumping off point, and for colors, and for the subject. So I'm working with water-soluble oil pastels, and when I do want to, instead of using a paintbrush with the water, I just moisten a makeup sponge, and I'm blending it that way. I'm not blending it all the time, but those times when I am blending it, I use a moist makeup sponge for blending it instead of, you can use a paintbrush with water, but in this case I'm not doing that. And yeah, now that the yellow oil pastel wasn't bright enough, so I'm going in with yellow acrylic paint, and I'm using a special neon pink paint that comes from, I forget the company, so I could put the link down below. And so I also, you can see there's plastic bags, there's white plastic sticking out on the edges of my journal. And I just always do that to protect the other pages beneath. And right now I'm going back into that center of the flower, because I can see that it also has a dark magenta, so I'm going back in with dark magenta, and now I'm making like the white streaks on the flower petals. And I also have used a very bright orange. I'm using most of my acrylic paints are of the Liquitex, and they're basic paints. It's just called BACIC. Their basic paint line, which is it's probably the student version of the straight Liquitex paint. And I'm still working on the flower, and I am kind of deciding what I'm doing as I go. Right now I'm darkening the corners and the sides and the edges with the dark magenta, and I'm using a fan brush. So I am going to be adding I'm not just going to be working on the flower. I am adding more to this design on the side half that has the birds on it already. And working on this design really I had a lot of indecision about it, just wondering if it's when to finish, like when I thought it was finished. So I just I keep going back in with the light and the medium tone and the dark tone, and I keep like working them alternately actually. So yeah, now I'm gonna be working on the other side, the other half. Oh, I was trying to see would that green work or would that other green work, and I decided no. And so I decided to do the birds in 3 different colors, just slightly different. One is the neon pink, the other one is the dark magenta, and the third bird I do in an orange, the bright orange. And actually they don't come out, the colors kind of are muted, and because the makeup sponge I didn't really clean it in between, so they kind of all look like shades of magenta. And then I added stencils in the corner of leaves, and I'm using a makeup sponge also for applying the acrylic paint through the stencil. And I like to work in threes. 3 different places where I'll put a stencil. And having some of the design coming off the page is always a good thing, because it makes it look like a bigger picture, and that it adds interest like that, so it doesn't look like you're just working like right inside of a box. So I'm going back in with the water-soluble oil pastel that's the bright pink, and going in with the coloring in the leaves that are within that dark magenta in the 2 on the right side. And yeah, I thought the polka dot stencil would be really good, because I just wasn't getting the right texture for the interior of the flower. So in an abstract way, yeah, the polka dot stencil, I was using that. Now I'm trying to decide, I really did have a lot of indecision about how to finish this piece. So I was checking out whether this stencil might work. And I did paint white through it, and then I had to wipe it off with a baby wipe. So when you do make mistakes in art journaling and you're using before things dry, you can wipe things off with a baby wipe. Oh, I'm adding the sticker jewels. They're really tiny, and I'm using them for the eyes of the bird, and now I'm going to put these shiny adhesive little gemstones, about 5 to 10 of them on the center of the flower, and I used them for one for each eye of the 3 birds. And then it is almost finished. Yeah, I'm trying to turn it like that so you could see it shine. Oh yes, I am going to be adding 2 more things. Stencil. Yeah, just a couple more things. That stencil, yeah, I'm going to use white. Well, actually, I didn't have white paint upstairs while I'm working, so I'm using gesso through the stencil. And I try to do it in 3 different places, but I don't use the whole stencil. I use the whole stencil in 2 places and just part of the stencil in another place. I find that that helps unify design and art journaling, which things can become like incohesive, or and this, if you work in threes, it can help keep it unified. And the next thing I'm going to do is using another branch of leaves on that stencil. I'm going to use it for 3 of the flower, kind of like whatever, abstract flower petals, and do that in yellow. Right now I'm doing, okay, that stencil, just the point of that stencil for the third placement in white. And I was pretty happy how that turned out, adding those last few stencils in white. And now I'm going to go back in with a different flower, a different leaf stem, and just kind of like abstract flower petal shapes with yellow acrylic paint. And then I was pretty much happy how that had turned out by that time. I was feeling less indecisive at that point. So thank you for watching, and please like or comment. It helps me out a lot. And please subscribe. Thank you for watching.